right, welcome back to another early adopter edition. And in this episode, we're going to talk about your first project in Sparx 17. So let's get started. So we have Sparx loaded here. There's a few things in this project, and we want to see if there's an update to our current version. So we're in the Start tab. We go over here to Help. And then if you go down on Help, check for updates. It goes right to the Sparx site. It sees that I'm currently on installed version 17.12. And it says, hey, there's a release out, build 17.13, that was released on August 8th, 2025. So if you're renewing or keeping up your license agreement, you should be able to log on and get to the download for this latest build. In this page, we can look at the release notes. We can go down here. It talks about registered download, that you're keeping your license renewed, your 12-month license. There's a trial download if you want to take a look at Sparx, and then it'll guide you through the rest of the download. When you're going to download, you'll get to this page. And in this page here, you have the registered downloads. And this is where you're going to download to your download folder on your machine. All right, the file is downloaded, and what I typically do, you can see this is the 7th of the install files they provided me. I'm going to name this the build 1713, hit enter, and then I'm going to close my current Sparx instance by just hitting the X up there, and now I have the install. I'm going to go ahead and launch and install build 1713. So we'll double click it. It brings up the wizard and does the typical step through installation. When Sparx is done with the update, you're at the finish. Go ahead and select finish. And if something goes wrong, you can always fall back to the previous build. We're not worried about that. We're going to launch Sparx. We relaunched our project. We're on the Start tab, but we're going to go to Help. And we're going to check for updates. On the Sparx page, it confirms that version, or build, I should say, 1713 is installed, so we're all up to date. So we can go ahead and close this page, and we're going to do some testing. Now I'm in the default Sparx layout here for the first test, and we've got browser on the left. We have properties in the upper right, and we have notes in the lower right. The first thing we're going to do, does it remember all of our custom layouts? And let's just go to our full layout here, where it puts toolbox on the left. It puts browser and quite a few other things. They all still work. And in the upper right and the lower right, we have notes, properties, timelines. Everything is working. So scripts, most important. There we go. So the first test is complete. The next test is in the work area. From the toolbox, we'll drag in class 1, we'll drag in class 2, and then we'll create class 3 using the helper. And let's just do another class with an association. So performance is good. Everything is working accordingly using class diagrams. And we can test some other ones. Typically what we do, our tests have 50 primary tests. And they're pretty much everything that's in the video series in our channel here for my firsts in Sparx, starting with Sparx EA day 1, going through my first project, setting that up, my first class diagram, which we just did, and other types of diagrams. So we'll run through 50. We actually have over 150 tests. The other 100 tests are really more advanced. They deal with various aspects of model-driven development and model-driven architecture. Now, there's a lot of very important tests that we want to run in the beginning. So we did the first one here. We want to go over to resources, still sees all of our patterns. We want to bring in a test pattern, and we can really pick anything that we want. We can take a look at what patterns we want to bring in. Let's just bring in this one. We're going to drag and drop it. Right about here is fine. So this is the pattern. It's reading everything correctly. We're going to hit OK. Yes, I want to do this. And so our patterns are working. We'll go through and test our reports, our report templates, our overlays, and also our MDG technologies. Now, you may not have MDG technologies. Don't worry about that. You may not even have patterns, but the things that are important to you for daily work before you start getting into a project are going to be your reports, your custom reports, your patterns, and then anything else that's important to you, like matrix profiles, if you have those in those projects and so on. You probably want to choose your most complicated project to test. I'm not going to do that in this session, but you want to complete testing on a build that satisfies your basic needs for daily routines before you're confident of moving in those builds. There are two more projects that we want to do, and the first one is creating a new Sparx project. We go to our target, and we're just going to call this test 1, and then we're going to hit save. You should see this dialog box right here for model access. The first one is going to be local, and we're not going to have security enabled. So that means that anybody can do this. Let's go ahead and hit OK. We can see that test 1 has been created. It is completely blank and all is working accordingly. We are going to create another project. We're going to call it test 2. We're going to hit save. And then this time we are going to enable security. So we start with admin and we give it a password. Give it any password you want. Just remember what it is. And then you're going to hit OK. You're going to be challenged again to log in using admin. Make sure you're putting admin in and your password. So you're in the blank project. If you look in the upper right, you can see the administrator is logged in. Administrator is going to come in and has security enabled. It's not disabled or gray out. They're going to go into users and they're going to create a new login, and this login is going to be for UML operator, and then we will put in UML. I don't want the O in there. Habit operator, and then you can leave department blank, and we're going to go ahead and hit save. We're going to go to UMLO, and we are going to change the password. I'm going to give UMLO administrative rights. I can do that now. And I want to make sure I change the password. Otherwise, UMLO can't log on. So we're going to put in a password. We're going to verify it. And there we go. Password changed. So now I come up here and I can change to another user. And this time it is for UMLO. Put in my password that was provided to me. And there we go. We're logged in as UML operator. Everything is working fine. All right, we're going to wrap up now. We are now on build 1713. We've got a little bit of testing to do before we officially call this one production ready for our shop. And these are the build release notes for build 13. And I say build 13, 1713 for all of you. And then what we're going to do is really focus on the AI integration. So we've got some videos that are going to come out looking at that integration. And I'll talk more about that as I told you I would do in previous episodes. So I'm really looking forward to finishing up this year with some exciting topics. So until that next episode, thanks very much for the support that you all have been giving. Please continue to leave comments and things down below in the description. We'll try to get back to you and cover the subjects that you want to as quickly as we can. All right, so until that next episode, happy modeling.